Hey guys, how's it going today? My name is Rodrigo Jugulator Raquio, and this is a series of stories I'm gonna start telling from time to time, and it's gonna last for at least like I don't know, doesn't matter how many minutes, but I'm gonna be producing these recordings live, and it's gonna be based on the stories that I have experienced myself involved in music, either between metal, punk, goth, rock music, everything from my childhood to my present, all the past included and things like that. So I was trying to come up with a name, and I say to Suji, "Hey Suji, how should I call this a new kind of a video thing that I want to start, right? Because I want to share my stories about stuff that I have gone through before in regards to music, because many things that has taken place in my life, really, it has to be involved with music, right? So I say to Suji, either like should I call it like Legacy of Kings, like it just like the title of the second album of Hammerfall. Thank you, Suji. That really appreciate it. And or I was thinking of calling it like the Legacy of a Madman, because I was thinking of the title of when Sabotage released the album Poets and Madman. It was something that I felt really identified with. In a way, I'm such a madman. Like I'm very, I would say like I'm a jolly happy person. I'm also a very angry, cranky, crabby person as well. So what happens is I was thinking, you know what, like it would sound much more metal if we wanna say it this way to call it Legacy of a Madman. There's Untold Stories of Rodrigo Jugulator Raquio. So this is my first episode right now, broadcasting in live. And the thing is, there's a fascinating story that I came across today and that I want to share. And this is incredible how small the world is, really. And what happens is, I went through this entire. I woke up this morning and I see this friend of mine, like we're kind of like we just became friends on Facebook because she's the wife of a good friend of mine as well, who used to play in shows like back in 2011 when I used to be a promoter for different events in the old Devil Cellar in Toronto when I used to have the location there, right? And what happened is his name is Ty Primor. Okay, so he basically he was actually he used to play in the band Left Hand Creation. So after many years, I didn't get to see him, and I just re-encountered him back in 2016. In November of 2016, there was this show going on in Toronto that I played DRI and a bunch of bands at the time, like in a festival. So it was my first time seeing DRI. So when I went to that show, and I didn't go to shows for a while because I've been busy with my own life and all things like that, especially since I started to run my own business, the Devil Cellar, and I become a barber hairstylist as well, all together in one place working from home. I decided to go to this show with my friend Tim White. Now, Tim White, he's a mentor of mine, good friend of mine, who I know him since year 2000 because of the band Sweet Vengeance. That actually they were based in the Durham area, in the Durham region. I believe actually they were from Oshawa as well. So I became friends at the time with these guys when they were opening for the band of Udo, former singer of Accept, was playing at the Cathedral, and that was back in 2000, year 2000 exactly when this took place, okay? But this is weird though, like that's only one section of the story that one day I'm gonna tell, right? Anyways, we went to this concert, Tim and I, we went to see the show of DRI on November, I think it was the end of October of 2016. Anyways, we went to see it at the Velvet Underground in Toronto. We were hanging out there, and then suddenly, like I came across Ty. And Ty Primero, actually, I didn't see him for many years. As I said to you, he used to play shows in the Devil Cellar in Toronto back in 2011. So it happened, we were talking for a bit, right? And I remember I took a bunch of patches with me because I just started my business at the time, and I took the best patches selection of the items that I sold, just to either like to sell it to friends over there, or also to trade it for beer, because like a fucking kind of beer now, like a tall boy, it costs you like close to $10 anyways, whatever the hell you go to. So basically, because the patches I sell it for $10, and like I always make the deal, if you buy more patches, I give you one for free and stuff, right? Anyways, so I took a bunch of patches, and so I traded him one patch for a can of beer, and we were talking for a bit about his life, his past, like the past 5 years since I didn't get to see him for a while, and then we basically we stay in touch, right? Even I always had him on Facebook, but at the same time, like we didn't have the chance to talk, right? Then a year later, I found out actually that he got married. So he got married to this wonderful lady, Natalie. And Natalie and Ty, they came the other day on Friday to visit me. All right, so it happened that they came to visit me, and they bought some items from the Devil's Cellar located in Camden. And then they went to Niagara Falls because they were coming all the way from Oshawa, right? Now, this couple, they live in Oshawa. They came from Oshawa all the way to Niagara Falls for the weekend, but they decided to stop by at the Devil's Cellar and other shops nearby, like to buy records, and from me, they were going to buy mostly like an apparel, the clothing that I sell, right? So then, it's funny because today, Natalie posted an update, like a status update that actually she was like she couldn't sleep last night. Okay, so I go and I joking around. I woke up in a very jolly mood today, where I said I usually always wake up joking around. Suji knows that, like she is always entertained with all the shit that I say here. Like sometimes even I say to her, you know what, we should start like a freaking reality show here at home, set up a bunch of cameras and people they can witness the kind of lifestyle that we carry here, because we're always fucking laughing here, right? Either she's joking or I'm joking or anything like that, right? But then, okay, so I'm gonna show you right now what happened, right? So Natalie posted this thing that says that she needs caffeine, worst sleep of her life, right? Okay, so I put like a wow expression on it, and then I go and after a few kind of comments that other people made, I go and I posted I asked her if Ty snores too loud, right? So if he doesn't snore too loud, then like for the next time, do the following: put a pillow on his face, put as much as pressure possible, okay? Hold it for 2 minutes, the snoring will stop, and then delete this message, right? This comment. So they were laughing their asses off, right? Like Natalie hasn't seen this comment yet, but I know she's gonna laugh her ass off, okay? So as you can see right now, Ty, primero, okay, the husband of Natalie, is laughing his ass off about this entire joke. Of course, I wouldn't suggest people to do such shit in order to stop your partner from snoring, okay? But at the same time, they say this other lady, Becca Nolan, who like the whole thing, right? The status. So basically, because sometimes I like when people they have like a joy, they enjoy themselves. Like either for the stuff that I post or anything like that, because I like to give people a good time in any way possible. The thing is, I went to her profile to check it out, so I was curious actually. Well, I wonder probably she's like into music as well. And I like to target people who actually they are involved with music, because music really unified us. No matter like what language you speak and what country you come from, like basically one way or the other, music is like the universal language for all of us. So I just wanted to show you the picture actually, so I went through her pictures, right? She likes black metal music and all of that. And suddenly I came across through a really cool picture of her wearing a Behemoth shirt, okay? So if you see the Behemoth shirt right now, this is pretty interesting because actually I used to own that Behemoth shirt, okay? So I decided to contact her, send her a message, and I say to her, like, it's freaking incredible, like it's so magical, the whole thing, right? I go and I say to her, like, hey, like in a nice approach way, of course, not like a freak or anything like that, because I wouldn't do such. I go, hello, how are you doing? I got a crazy story to tell you. You know that shirt Behemoth of the Sventivid storming near the Baltic? I used to own it years ago, alright? The Ty gave it to you, because I remember Ty was the last owner of that t-shirt. And I'm gonna tell you the story exactly how it goes right now. So she's laughing and she goes, yes, actually, right? So I posted the link of where I found the picture exactly of her, like wearing the Behemoth shirt that I used to own. And then she told me that she bought it for $5 from him, right? And then I go, that's so good to see it around. Like I'm so happy, like it made me smile big time. And then she found it fucking hilarious. So I go like, so here's the story about it. It's funny because I originally got it for $5 from its original owner, who used to own it back in the 2000s. Okay, but I got it from the previous owner of this T-shirt, right? I got it back in year 2010, and I got it only for $5 when I bought it from this other guy. So probably at the time he paid much more money for it, because now this is in regards to the cover artwork of one of the first releases of Behemoth, right? Like when they were not as popular as they are right now. So we're talking about like in the late 90s, I would say, around that era. That basically, I would say mid 90s, late 90s actually. When they were like a black metal style, they were purely black metal, and then like over time they started to evolve more to black death metal, and then they went more like into death metal, and now they are back to the roots kind of thing. I don't know, like a whole process evolution that they have produced in their music, right? And then what happened is he like, so the thing is I bought it for $5 back in 2010. Like this other dude, this fucking pussy web that I don't speak to anymore, okay? He basically because he was so much of a big fan of black metal music, he started to get rid of his shit because he wanted to dress more in color. He was getting into house music and all of that, and some people they get all, when they get upset so much into one style, and basically then they lose the groove for it, they want to change to it. So like that's usually something that happens with a lot of fucking metalheads I have known along the way anyways. So this guy basically, he decided to sell me a bunch of t-shirts, and he sold it to me for $5, okay? So this t-shirt of a Behemoth, of the Spentivis, was one of the t-shirts that I bought at the time with the whole lot. Then it happened that I sold it to Rick Warren, this other fucking loser, okay, who actually used to live in a friggin' Sudbury that I visited once back in 2004. This guy, he was a promoter at the time in the early 2010s. Like he was doing promotion in Oshawa under Warlord Promotions. Okay, yeah, I'm talking shit about you. Okay, what the fuck? Not like you haven't spoken shit to me, you motherfucker. Anyways, and the thing is that this guy, he bought the T-shirt from me. He really wanted it because I was posting my T-shirt collection at the time, back in 2010, 2011. Without thinking that one day I was going to open my own business to sell merchandise. So I grabbed a whole lot of t-shirts, and I was selling it for anywhere between $20 to $30 at the time, right? Because like I was trying to get rid of a part of my collection, and I needed money for at the time because I was going to school. I was trying to run my business as a promoter in Toronto as well. So in order to move around, like I needed to sell a few items, right? Like to, because they were pressure to me, but at the same time I needed the money at the time. So I put it for sale, and this guy, Rick Warren, he asked me actually like, oh yeah, how much you want for that t-shirt? I go, you know what, $25 actually. I'm going all the way to Oshawa to a concert, so I went at the time, back in 2012. I went from Hamilton all the way to Oshawa. I got a ride from this other woman that I'm not gonna say her name, but basically I used to fuck her at the time. Like she was a married woman. I got a ride from her, so I went all the way there. And then basically what happened is I get to meet Rick at the time, and so we made the trade, gave him the t-shirt. He gave me $25 for it. I go, okay, cool. Like he really liked it, he found it in condition, so it was worth the price I was selling it for. Okay, so then in 2013 or 2014, because he was selling a bunch of his shit, he was running out of money. I asked him in case of anything. I was planning actually of buying the shirt back if he needed help or anything like that, right? I was planning to buy it off him again, the t-shirt that I sold to him. But he sold it to someone else. So in this case, he sold it to Ty, or gave it to him or something like that. So he sold it to Ty, all right, and then basically like I didn't hear about it anymore. But I said to him, "Oh, good for you, man. Like Ty is a really cool guy, so he deserves the t-shirt as well." So technically, Ty would be the third owner of this t-shirt at that point, right? So then it happens, like I didn't hear about it anymore until now, until I woke up today, and then like when I see the comments about this entire thing, as I showed you previously, right? About the whole thread that I was fucking suggesting a bad joke. It was a really black humor shit that I was doing, right? I love the dark humor and all of that. So I was making a bad suggestion that nobody should do ever, alright? Like that putting a fucking pillow on the face of your partner if it's snowing too much, right? So maybe technically killing him, right? And then, so basically, Ty sold the shirt to Becca, all right. And the thing is, but it's fantastic the whole thing about like how then I started to talk to Becca, and then I told her like this thing that I say like the guy who sold it to me got it probably for more as it's a rare T-shirt, right? So like it costs a lot of money now, like a T-shirt of Behemoth or anything that is vintage like that from that time from the 90s. Like it will cost much more money now, especially if you keep it in mint condition, right? So it's out of print, of course. I doubt actually anybody's printing that shirt out there. And then so I told her, yeah, what a small world nowadays, without even thinking, you know, like at the time when it was going to happen, right? Nowadays, I run my own metal punk home business in which I sell imports. At the time, it didn't cross in my mind to do such thing, right? So I sent her a link of my business, therevolseller.com, and then she goes like, holy shit, I'm the fourth owner of this t-shirt. So she was laughing her ass off, and she goes, god damn. I go, pretty much, and I bet that it must be like in really good condition as well. And she told me that this t-shirt is actually in mint condition. It's in fucking excellent condition, and it made me so happy about it, because I go like I say to her, metal shirts like this, they last for a while, right? Like the same the kind of quality that I sell over here at my place, at my store. Like I sell all quality shirts that are gonna last for a while. Like if I show you this t-shirt of Sodom right now, the band Sodom gave it to me for free at the time, okay? Back in the year 2005 when they played in Toronto with Filtro. Yeah, I was working for the show. I was working for the promoter for Noel Peters of Inertia Entertainment at the time. And I worked for him like for 10 years in the past, right? From year 2001 until 2011. And then what happened is that, so they gave me the t-shirt, and I still have it in mint condition. Like kind of like the printing looks a little bit older because I have washed it many times. And I cut the sleeves off and stuff like that, right? Because it was a medium shirt, and now like I'm wearing it like I'm making it much more with a nice thing, It feels like a nice breeze when you cut the sleeves here of the t-shirts, right? So that's why I suggest to people, especially to wear it in the summer, right? Anyways, they last you for a while. This good quality t-shirt, and you can tell exactly what is good or not, like in regards to the print and all of that. So then, so the thing is, it's funny because I told her, yeah, metal shirts like that last for a while, you can get good money for it. Imagine I made $20 profit by selling it to the sucker of Rick Warren at the time, alright? So I made $20 out of selling it, the whole thing, right? So she loved the whole thing, and then she goes like, well, the shirt dies with me because it's the most comfortable one I own, and Rick is a fucking idiot. Ha ha ha. Alright, so basically, like, I'm really happy to hear that actually she's gonna be the last owner of this t-shirt, of the Behemoth shirts that we're talking about, right? And so I go, very cool. It's a great quality t-shirt, and I'm glad it's in great hands. So you are the carrier of a good legacy, as anything that gets handed to me passes on a good blessing. So what happens is like of every single thing that I sell here at my store, it has a good story behind it. So it's not like that I'm just a seller and I got no fucking idea of what I'm selling, or I'm ignorant or oblivious about it. No, I always like have something to say about such product, because at the same time I provide the comfort of my clientele that they're gonna have a good quality product as well. So I wouldn't be lying to them. And if there's any problems, they can always contact me back, and I'm gonna either like refund them or anything like that. For whatever situation happens to. God forbid anything happens like to any of the merchandise that they buy, right? So she's really thankful, goes like, thanks, man. I go, yeah, no worries, so happy to see it again, right? The shirt. And then like and I go like, yeah, Rick is definitely an idiot. I was going to charge him more. I was going to ask him for more money for the shirt, right? Because it's a vintage one. I should have charging more because I ended up disliking the guy anyways, right? So I laughed my ass off and all of that, and I sent her a picture, a link to the picture where when I was wearing the t-shirt, and this is the t-shirt exactly in the old location of the Devil's Cellar when I used to run it in Toronto, when it used to be a music venue, right? And here it is actually, like this t-shirt. I can't remember who took it. I think it was Steve who took this picture. Steve Griffith, who actually Steve Griffith is one of the main contributors at the time who actually lived in Oshawa as well. At one point, actually he grew up there. He was born and grew up in Oshawa, and then basically this guy, he basically, I met him like through doing window cleaning in the city of Toronto, right in the financial district of King and University area. All right, so we met at work, at this workplace, and at the time it was back in 2011, and I was trying to start my business, and I told him about it. Like that's when I started like the whole venue thing. Underneath a pub, like it was called the Curse Pub, that's still around, but except that the basement they had to change the name because I'm the founder owner, and I possess all the rights of the Devil's Cellar, right? So they had to change the name when I reopened my business, when I came up with the whole idea of starting my business again. So, and even I told them when I left the project at the time, I told them do not use my name because like I'm the one who basically called it the Devil's Cellar, and nobody else came up with that idea. It was only me who started it. So like if they kept using the name, they would be in trouble because like I registered my name along the way too. I smart up in that way. You gotta cover your ass in situations like that, right? So they were using it for a while. They gave me more likes on the page and all of that, until they got the notification that they couldn't use the name anymore because it's a legal business of what I'm running. So like it's all registered on all the paperwork, I have it over here. And then it happened. I believe it was Steve actually who took this picture because he's the one who actually created the doll of Eddie, the one that is holding me by the neck there. It's only like the torso part, the upper body, the upper torso, right? The head over there, and it has like one arm only. The other part like is all tear apart here because it used to be attached to the wall at the Devil's Cellar in the old location, right? So there's a bunch of candles as you see there. Eddie of Iron Maiden holding me like through by the neck over here, and I'm wearing the Behemoth shirt. Then now this lady over here, Becca Nolan, who lives in Oshawa, owns right now because she's the fourth owner of it. Now, one thing that I wanted to say about Steve Griffiths, that I'm still thankful for everything what he did at the time. Every time, you know, when I told him about this project that I had about the Devil's Cellar, it was a great motivational thing for him to do because he felt so excited about the project what I told him about, and I took him to the place. At the time, I was thinking about doing a transformation to the place. Back in 2011, I took him one day with me, like after work. We went to the pub. I got the access to the downstairs, and I told him, look, you know what? We got this big space here. It fits about like 80 people, and the thing is, I'm thinking I would like to decorate it, right? And I say, dude, you know what? Like, this place has so much potential. Let's fucking do a makeover to it, okay? So every single afternoon, evening after work, we'll have lunch together, and then we will head to the pub. And we will start like painting over there, and sometimes we will spend time until midnight, knowing that we had to wake up early in the morning of the next day to go to work again, to go and work in the financial district, going all the way to the heights and do window cleaning and all that shit, right? Of the buildings that they are located in the financial district. So he helped me out with all the painting and all of that, do cool decorations like pentagrams, birthday crosses, whatever the shit. Eddie of Iron Maiden, some like signs also that says the Devil's Cellar, another one Poison. Many cool items actually you're not gonna see anywhere around. And what happens is that when the time came to tear down all the decoration apart, basically like I took all those precious things and I took them with me, and that's where I placed all the decoration of this place where we're located at, Suji and I. But we're moving out of here right now, but we're moving to a bigger place in a way, a much more central, right at the heart of Hamilton City. The wonderful things of life, eh? It's just like how one thing leads to another. And the coolest thing is also that just it's emotional for me to see all these things actually like for what everything I have committed to over the years and I have dedicated to. It's like it's paying off. Like the whole idea is to share the happiness of to motivate others and to basically to produce to plant seeds of things that they're gonna lead along the way, and this is one of them. It's amazing actually to see that old Behemoth shirt that I used to wear to pass it on to a new owner's head. It's a great thing. And I'm really happy. Like it's emotional, you know, like because sometimes you do things and you don't think where they're gonna end up at. You never know where it's gonna lead everything. But it's great. It makes me really happy. Like it makes me be fulfilled with joy. Especially thinking from a very distant city, one from the other, also all the way to Hampton, Toronto, all of that. It's fucking amazing. Like to see this. And I still have idea of Iron Maiden, and I always say every single time, like whenever I get in touch with Steve Griffin, say thank you so much for everything what you did. He thanks me back as well for what is it for, because he was telling me actually that he was going through a lot of changes in his life, and he's an excellent painter. You will see his work. He's fucking amazing at it. He's really talented. I always believe in him, and he always has my support in everything what he does. He basically like he said to me at the time like how thankful he was because painting was one of his habits, and then he lost it for a while because he didn't feel the motivation anymore. And then like when I came out with the whole idea of the Devil Cellar back in 2011, thank you Suji. When I came with the idea of coming out with the Devil Cellar, he was thankful about it. That I given the opportunity for him to express himself through art again. It's fucking great, you know. I'm happy, like so that's why like I sometimes for the many things I have done, okay, like we humans are not perfect. We go through things. We struggle, okay? Especially the ones who have great minds out there. I know many. Some of them, they have the gift and they wasted it. Myself, I haven't wasted it. I don't feel that everything what I have done is a waste. It has led to something wonderful. And it has connected me to new people and to new opportunities in life. And it's a wonderful thing. Like, my life has got much more meaning along the way. And that's important, and that has made of me a very strong person. And not because I'm releasing tears right now, it doesn't mean that I'm showing weakness. No, the opposite. Like it's a wonderful feeling because like that tells you exactly when a person truly feels something for everything that you have dedicated. It's paying off, and it's fucking great. And I talk to these people that are doing fucking amazing, and I'm so happy for each one of you. You know, Ty, Natalie, Steve, Becca, Tim. You know, each one of you guys, like who I have mentioned in this story here specifically, as we stay in touch, and it's wonderful. Not just that, like I don't know how long I have been spoken right now for, but the last thing I wanted to conclude this with is like because as I was going through all the pictures along the way, right? She's laughing there, like Becca is laughing and she loves the picture. Along the way, I came along with this disgusting picture of myself that I'm basically fucking holding a pig's head. It's a rotten pig's head that the band Blast from Montreal along with François, who I still in touch with him, and also we do business together. We do trades and all of that, vinyl and T-shirts and things like that. He comes from time to time still, like to visit me and all of that. And he basically he was playing that show, and I remember when he pulled out from the back of his vehicle, he pulled out like a bunch of heads, like a bunch of sorry, like a black bags covered on ice and all of that, and then he had a surprise for that night. I asked him, hey, like, what is all this? It's so heavy, and he was like, it's a surprise, right? So when it came the time for the band, the headlining band, Black Scorn at the time, they were going to play the show. They pull out these heads, you know, they turn off all the lights, and they have like a fucking like a, this you know, like a flashing lights in the background whenever they were playing. They were making the live the stage, the live presents like all very like scary, right? They pull out this dead heads, dead horse's head and a pig's head, and myself like the place basically it smelled like rotten, like the doorspot, the place where they played at back in year 2012 at the festival that I organized. It was called the Invasión Infernale, and the thing is that they played the show like with a bunch of heads of dead animals, like in this case like horses and pigs. And myself obsessively with that, like I go like, wow, what the fuck is this shit there? So I went crazy. That was my part of being a madman myself. I just went, grabbed one of the heads, and John Chalmers actually took a picture of me. John Chalmers at the time he was playing in the band Pagan Ritual with his son John Chalmers. Sorry, like with what is it? What was your son's name again? Like what is it? Steve, like why do I keep like freaking forgetting though? Like even I have him on this thing. Like what is it? We play video games together sometimes. I find it. Andrew, there you go, Andrew Chalmers. Okay, so Andrew Chalmers is his son. So both of them they used to play in the band together called what is it? Pagan Ritual. They were the opening band for the band Black Scorn, and Black Scorn actually like they brought all this madness to the stage, right? And I was really obsessed with it. I was like, what the fuck is this shit, right? So while I was holding that pig's head, basically he took a picture of me. It was a very sick, disgusting picture, of course, right? But what can you do, right? Like I mean, it was part of the stage show, right? I myself, I was doing this phrasing shit that I do to bands sometimes. That when I like a band so much, it's like a ritual thing that what I do is like put beer on my mouth, right? And then like or water, and then like a splash it like the wrestlers do, like a splash, like a beer and water everywhere to the air. So basically, like it's a way of praising bands, like when I like them so much, when I'm really into them. So it's a personal kind of like admiration that I have for musicians that I do a lot as well. Whenever I have the opportunity to go to an event, and then I go like John Chalmers is commenting over there, right on the screen, as you can see, like that. It was a fucking thing. One of the Black Scorn skulls at the doorstep held by the Jugulator himself, me, right? And then I mentioned François, right? Because he was the former singer of Black Scorn, that he comes from time to visit with me, right? So we're always in touch, and it was a very controversial show as well. We can say it produced a lot of controversy because you know the place stank like rotten death, you know, animals, like the upstairs and the downstairs too. And then also the band Erinka from Montreal as well. They were actually like looking for an opportunity to play in Ontario, so they contacted me at the World Music Trajectory, like to play out of the provinces started. So now that band is doing really well. They have a few releases out there that they have come out over the past few years, and they made it pretty quite popular. And I'm really happy for them as well. I stay in touch with all of them. And at the same time, like François is super happy, you know, because this was the old days actually when I was a promoter at the time and I was trying to start all this entire thing. And it just many times it feels like it was like, shit, I remember when I used to do that shit, like, you know. But it doesn't feel like any older, like it feels like it was fucking crazy times, you know. So it's like a production of controversy and humor at the same time that it comes to my life. And then like he goes like it seems forever to him because like it's been so many years. The reality is this was back in 2012. And his kids, they were not born yet, right? Now he's a father, right? He has kids and all of that, and he's a lovely parent, and he's a super cool, amazing guy, and really thankful for the kind of person he is, all of that. So, the way I want to end the episode today, because nobody really talks about these things, until someone mentions it, brings it back to life, right? So that's why I was like, you know what, this is fucking wonderful. It came everything on the right moment. It's a Monday, beginning of the week. Suji and I were, it's her day off. It's my day off as well. I don't have any appointments for today. But we gotta go and do different things. Like we gotta go to the dentist now because we are at that age where you start getting the fucking bill. When you start like getting your pain toothache or whatever the shit, right? Like I gotta get removed like my wisdom tooth and all that shit. Alright, she has tooth pain as well. Mostly for the good food that we eat all the time. Which is, I don't feel guilty about it, right? So do we feel any guilt about all the amazing food that you cook all the time? Yeah, see, like, as you hear it, like, there's nothing to feel guilty about. And yeah, we really well, so like, it happens, like, things like that. It's just, I gotta say, it's been a fucking amazing time, like, all these years, everything. I'm thankful for life. Any day above ground is a wonderful day. But, I gotta cut this off right now because it's 12:30. I gotta go for a few appointments, right? Like outside, even though it's snowing. But I wanted to share these stories, right? And that's the reason why I decided to call it The Legacy of a Madman. Because I'm a madman in a way. Like I do a lot of crazy shit, and sometimes people are not aware of it, or someone else they know about it, and every time we bring it back, it's like, oh yeah, I fucking remember that shit. And they love hearing these stories, right? Especially when it comes from a guy like I don't like to brag about it, but people find it fascinating when a fucking guy with a strong accent like mine, especially living half of my life here in Canada, like I still kept it. Just because the girls love it, the guys love it, like everybody loves my fucking accent, and they say, oh, I love when Rodrigo is telling me a fucking good story all the time, because like this guy has so much shit to tell in a way. It's never ending. And I say that to Suji a few times before. You know what, Suji, I should start fucking revealing the different stories I can go through, because like of who you are right now at this precise moment. It's like for everything that you have worked in your past, for everything that you have done. So it's like it pays off. Everything that you commit to, it pays off one way or the other. It doesn't have to be monetarily. No, it doesn't have to be materialistic. It can be in many ways possible. That actually things that life pays you back wonderfully, especially when you are grateful about things for everything that you go through. So yeah, that was actually my whole story, I would say, in a metal music part, right? And connections with Oshawa, with Toronto, Hamilton, and all of that, right? So I want to thank once again, like John Chalmers, François, Evo, I love his name actually, like it's fucking amazing. Yeah. François, what is it? I want to thank Natalie for starting the whole thing today, basically. Becca Nolan as well. Ty as well. Ty, stop fucking snoring, okay? So you can let Natalie sleep. And yeah, like thanks to Steve as well, that she comes from the Oshawa area. See, like so much of the Oshawa thing going on, right? At least in this point of the story, right? So it's fucking amazing, this entire thing. I can't fucking believe it myself. Such a small world, and even that we are not distant. We're a couple of hours, we'll say. So, but anyways, thank you so much, everybody, for checking out this story. And this was the first episode. Thank you, Suji. Thank you so much for everything. Thanks for the applause. I want to thank everybody for this wonderful thing. This was actually the legacy of a madman, me, okay? The Untold Stories of Rodrigo Jugulator, Raquio, episode 1. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, everybody. And I got more stories to tell you. it's not just about video games. There's a lot of fucking shit going on with my life, so you are gonna be happy to hear. So take it easy, guys. Thank you so much. Stay heavy, stay metal. Bye for now.